Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Thursday morning, and this is Thursday Morning Live. We are here every week at 8:30 Central Time. So glad you're here. If you know somebody is missing right now and they need to be here, go wake them up, put a cup of coffee in their hand, or give them a nudge. Let them know that we're on the air. We'll only be here for about 30 minutes this morning. We're going to just talk real estate. We're going to talk a little bit about social media and uh, how people get involved in real estate and get started. So we'll get into that in a minute, but I just want to remind you, hey, if you're here this morning and you're new to the broadcast, please like and subscribe to it. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. If you are wherever you get your social media fix, like us, follow us, and you'll never know when we have good relevant content come up. So one thing I always talk to people about whenever I start a show is what's your intention? What's your intention for today? The name of my company is My Core Intentions, right? And I started that because I want people to really think through about what you need to be intentional about. I know our guest today has a lot of intentionality about what she's doing and how she's trying to grow her business and where she wants to go. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But what's your intention today? Did you get up? What are your daily disciplines that you focus on, that you look at? Do you get up in the morning and spend some time in meditation, maybe in prayer, maybe you work out, maybe you spend some time in gratitude? And I'm always talking about gratitude, that gratitude is important. That's how we need to start our day. I actually had somebody ask me not too long ago. They said, do you actually get up every day and write down 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for? Because I talk about that all the time. And I said, yeah. He said, why do you burn the calories on that? And I love the expression, right? Why do you burn the calories on it? Well, I think I do it because it changes the way you think. It changes your belief system. It changes how you look at life. If you're grateful for what's happening in your life, and I don't mean just, oh, I'm glad this happened or this is great, but if you are truly grateful and you write it down and, the air you breathe, your feet hitting the ground, the book you have, the coffee you drink this morning, and you let that just wash over you, you'd be surprised after 30 days how much that'll change your life. So think about that. Be intentional about your days. Take a look at your disciplines and how you're starting out every day. And if I can help you with some goals or anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Okay, today's show is brought to you by the GOB Network. The GOB Network is sponsoring an event in July this year, July 13th and 14th. It'll be at the O'Hare West End. It's going to be 2 great days of networking, all multifamily. Should be 500 to 600 people there. So get your tickets. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, you can go to my website and get a discount. There's a discount code. If it's not there, go ahead and just message me and I'll get that to you. So we'd love to see you out there, no matter if you're just from Chicago or if you're from out of the area, but be there because there'll be a lot of great things going on. Okay, today my guest is Natalie Belloff. Natalie is the social media manager for Rent Life, but more important, she is the president of Rho Epsilon, a student real estate association at U of I. I got the opportunity to meet Natalie because I spoke at U of I, and she runs a great organization. I'm sure some people from that organization will be listening in today, unless they were out too late last night and couldn't get up this morning. But let's bring Natalie in and talk about that. Hey, good
Hi,
morning. How are
good
you?
morning. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Glad you're here. I know we've been talking about this for a while. Actually, it's
Yes.
been a couple months since I was down at U of I and spoke, and we had a chance to meet and met some really great people. Was pretty impressed with some of the students in the club and what we got to learn. So
Well, thank you. We were very impressed by your speech. It was really moving and it was really motivating.
thanks. I appreciate that. So, Natalie, one thing I always do, I start every one of my shows, every one of my guests, no matter which platform it is, and I want to know, in one word, what best describes you personally and professionally.
Um, that's a good one. I'd have to say perseverance for
Okay,
sure.
perseverance. That's a huge thing, right? What do you think that what does perseverance mean to you today?
So I'd say in my personal life and my professional life, I've definitely faced some barriers and some struggles, but I didn't let that stop me. I could have, but I never did. So I'd always take a step back, take a deep breath, very important, and just figure out how to problem solve and not let myself panic and just problem solve and do it.
That's interesting. I mean, there's a couple of years between us.
Yeah.
And, what I would say is, you know, you've already experienced challenge and tough times in your life and things that have caused you to have to persevere back through.
Yeah.
It's interesting, I guess. And I think that a lot of that is self-realization, right? What do you realize that for sure? So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you are open enough and vulnerable enough to share that. So I think perseverance is a great thing. You got to have it in life to move forward. Can't let the naysayers keep you down, right?
100%. You cannot.
Yeah. So I just want to make a comment too. If anybody out there listening this morning has a comment, please drop it in the comment box. If you have a question for Natalie, we'll get those answered for you this morning. So just we want to make this as interactive as possible. And here's what I'd throw out there. Hey, listeners, what do you think about perseverance? How's that helped you in your own life? Has it helped you push forward in your own life? So Natalie, how about a little bit of background on you and what you're currently doing and where you're headed?
Yeah. So I am a sophomore at U of I. I'm soon to be a junior senior. I'm graduating a year early. I'm an advertising major with a business minor and a sales certificate. I grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago. I was dancing my whole entire life until college. I don't know. I'm starting my internship at Rent Life, the leasing. I'm also a licensed leasing agent by the state of Illinois. So I start that today. I'm driving down to Chicago after this. And during the school year, I do their social media. So I run their social media accounts on their Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn platforms.
Well, I really appreciate you being here this morning. That's for sure. Especially
Cool.
just coming home last night, starting your new job, your internship this morning. So, that's a lot on your plate. That goes to show perseverance, right?
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, no, I'm glad. Hey, so let's unpack this a little bit. So were you on a dance team at school or go ahead?
Yes. I was on my high school dance team. It was called Jammers. We did hip hop. We'd perform at basketball games, a football game, and then I also competed hip hop for 4 years in my high school career.
All right, so that's cool. So there's a guy in the multifamily space. His name is Taylor Sue, CU. If you get a chance, go on LinkedIn, look him up. His whole family is hip hop dancers.
Really?
I've had Taylor on my show. I've been on his show. He's a really cool guy. So if you want, I'll connect you with him. But
yes, please.
Yeah. So his whole family, and they just had a post out. They were on what's that show, World of Dance?
Oh yes, World of Dance. Yes.
They were just on World of Dance. So.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Yeah. I had someone I took a dance class from was on it. I think he made it through a couple of rounds. It was very cool.
Yeah, very cool, right? So so I have to ask this. So, what made you want to go into the crazy world of real estate? And I say it's crazy, but I've been in it 30 years, right?
Right.
And, I keep learning and keep growing. It's fun. It's very fluid, but what made you want to go into it?
So it's actually a funny story. And I was talking about it the other night with my boyfriend. Going into my freshman year of college, I was on the phone with my boyfriend one night. We've been dating since high school, since I was 16. And I was like, I really don't know what I want to do with my life, like with my career. I know I really like sales, but I don't know what form of sales I want to go into because I'm very into being financially stable, making a lot of money now so that when I'm done with college, I don't have to rely on my parents and I can live on my own with my own financials. So he goes, why don't you look at real estate? And I was like, at first I was really kind of hesitant and opposed. I was like, I don't know. I don't know. So I am fortunate enough to have a family friend. She's like my Aunt Carol. I basically call her Aunt Carol. She is in the residential market in the suburbs. She's so successful. She works for Baird & Warner. And I was able to shadow her and just talk to her and listen to what her day-to-day life looks like and all of that. And so the following summer is when I shadowed her. So going into my sophomore year. And I fell in love. And I just kept going to the row-up salon meetings, kept working my way up the ranks. I started as like VP of membership. I was in charge of all our members, and now I'm president. So I got to listen to all the really cool speakers, and I met Andy Ato, who is now my boss, and I sent him my resume and I was like, can I do an internship this summer? And he looked it over with my other boss, Melissa Miller. And now I have Rent Life. And so I'm really excited to start.
Nice. That's awesome. And, listen, I'm sure Rent Life's a great company that you're going to go to work for, but I wish I would have talked to you before that happened. So, so let's talk about social media a little bit, and we'll, so if you're going to go into real estate, are you think you're going to go into on the sales side, or you want to just do investing? Are you going to focus on social media? So just talk about that first.
That's a great question.
Okay.
I ask myself that every day. So as of now, I'm really fortunate enough to have kind of different internships. This summer, I'm going to focus more on the sales side and push that to the test, see if this is like really what I want to do. In terms of social media, I'm fortunate enough also to be doing that at the same time. It's kind of like my side hustle in a way. In the future, I would love to be more well-educated on underwriting, syndications, acquisitions, all of the financial investment side. Unfortunately, right now, I haven't started those business classes. That's for the fall. So I'd love to get more into that and then kind of make my decision. Maybe one day go into managing my own company. I love management. I've watched my dad's owned his business for 50 plus years. I've come to his office. I'm here right now. Watch him manage everyone. And I've always loved that. So we'll see where it takes me. This summer is going to be a really good time to tell what I want to do.
Good for you. I can't wait to check in the fall and find out what you're trying to maybe figure out. So that'll be cool. So let's talk about social media a little bit. What are you learning about it? What are your beliefs about it? Just kind of, dive in.
Of course. So I started doing social media when I'd always say I was a hustler. So when I was going into my sophomore year of high school, I worked for a boutique and they needed social media help. And at the time I was like 14, 15. I had no idea what I was doing, but I taught myself. I did the research. I did what hashtags are important, what not to post, what to do. It took some trial and error. So when I was offered this position as a social media expert, I mean, it was different than portraying clothes on social media. It was buildings, places that people were going to call home. I knew I had to really step up my game and do some more research. So I just it was more of like a trial and error towards the beginning, some learning. I was doing all of it remote from Champaign. So learning how to communicate with a team of people I've never met. And now I'm starting to meet great, lovely people. Love to work with them. So I was utilizing Slack to get all the information, doing emails. So I was doing that and taking 15 credits at the same time. It's kind of a lot, but I figured it out. And being president, of course, and maintaining a social life. But I was able to do all of that. And yeah, I don't know. I kind of got into a rhythm. I'm in a rhythm right now and kind of seeing what the followers like to see and seeing different ways to promote. And I do it on my personal social media to reach like my network. I'll repost whatever I post for my company. So, yeah.
So have you seen any growth as a result of the social media that you've been doing for Rent Life right now?
Yeah, for sure. I'm now that I'm out of school or will be on Monday, I can take a definite like closer look at that, which is nice. But I do notice if you post at certain times of the day and the certain hashtags you use, I noticed that if you use hashtags with a higher hashtag count, you're most likely to reach more people versus using a hashtag that has like one or two. That means probably no one's looking at those hashtags. But when people are looking at like hashtag home and I use hashtag home, whatever I post will pop up and maybe that'll help them in finding their future home. But it's very important. And what I've learned is to stay present and relevant on social media, because when people come to look at your company and it's very up to date, it's on par, it looks appealing, they're more likely to feel comfortable with your company and find credibility in that. So it's very important in my opinion.
Do I dare to have you evaluate my social media right now, live on the air?
I can.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll play your personal social media.
Well, yeah, my so like my Instagram, right?
Okay. Well, you do have a good following. That's good. That's very important.
I'm a huge risk taker, by the way. So,
Yeah.
go ahead and put it out there.
Well, you do have a really good following, I will have to say. You're in the 1300s. That's super important. It looks, when you see an Instagram account for someone in your field, it's really important to have a high number of followers, in my opinion, because you're more likely than not to kind of zone in on someone with maybe 1,000+ followers versus like 100,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
So not bad. Not bad for 3 months.
No, 3 months. Wow. Wow. No, I think I've had your socials for a few months now, so I've been staying up to date. I think it's great that you post like personal um mantras, and you also do the business. I love it. And I personally love the story aspect. If you can
Mm,
see it,
yeah.
the bubbles.
Yep.
Those, I think, and I've been learning more about, are super important, because when people look at your page, one thing I would recommend is kind of categorizing them with different names. Like you can do like hashtag Thursday morning, so people can click on it and see the different guests you've had.
Oh, well, that's interesting. And they kind of keep them there.
Yeah. So basically, what those bubbles are is they take whatever you've posted in your past on your Instagram stories, and you can click on the different ones and you put them in that category, in that folder.
Yeah.
So it's really nice when people first see your platform, because then they can click on it and say, oh, he does these Thursday morning podcasts. What are they? Who is he talking to? And you do post, like you posted the one for me today um, with my name, and you can click on that story in that bubble and people can see at first
Right.
glance, which I think is super important for your presence.
Yeah, pretty interesting. What's interesting is I've learned along the way, and it's really it could be a full-time job. I mean,
It is.
you could just do social media. And I'm a huge advocate. I listen to Gary Vee all the time, right? And I buy into his mythology of post more, post often. I had David Meltzer on my show, um, on my Insider Secrets podcast. He was my 100th guest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Congrats.
and he talked about it, and I had met Dave in Chicago here, and I asked him. I said, "So if you were starting from zero and gonna try and grow to doing what you're doing today, what would you do?" He goes, "I would post more." He'd go, "I'd do more
Yes.
video, post more." So the people that are present out there that on social media, they're doing it more.
Yeah. And consistency, I would say, is key. That's why I post 3 times a week for my for Rent Life. And each month I sit down before each month and I make a whole calendar. And obviously everything is subject to change if I can't get pictures in time, or we need to switch something around, or there's an event going on. But I make sure to plan it out. I normally do the sequence of Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday I'll post, and then the following week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and
So,
switch it up.
so what do you think about the thought process around 3 to 5 times a day?
So I think I'm learning again. This is all learning experience still for me. So
Right.
I'm learning more and more. And I've been doing research. I know a lot of creators on TikTok will post 3 to 5 times a day just to pick up the algorithm. Um, Honestly, I think it depends what platform. But I mean, I see you posting a lot and you still have that high following. So I think you're doing good.
Yeah. How about video? What's your opinion on video content? You mentioned TikTok, and
Yes.
listen, it's crazy. I never thought I'd be on TikTok. Matter of fact, when
I
my
didn't even know you. That's
oh
awesome.
yeah, so now you'll have to go follow me now.
I will. I will go follow you.
We
Yeah.
That would be, we should do one together. We could do one
Oh
together.
yeah, for sure. I'll come down. I'll come down to the office. No, I know Instagram Reels are really popular right now.
Mm.
I'm starting to, again, this is all like research based on my own time. So I'm starting to do more research on that. This summer, I'm hoping to get into TikTok for Rent Life. I feel like it could be super interesting. I've seen other real estate companies do it. And on my own experience in college with my own personal page, I kind of learned what the audience likes to hear and what they don't like to hear. And I learned that it's really what popular sounds are. When you have a higher likelihood of reaching a greater audience if you're using a very popular sound at the time.
Hmm.
And I did that on my own, and I started getting thousands of views on my, I would do silly dance videos with my roommates or my friends, or just funny like gym videos. I'm a gym junkie. So I would do some of those and they'd get a lot of views, and I kind of played into the hashtags that everyone was using and the sounds.
Hey,
So,
listen, that gym junkie thing is real, you know. Um,
oh, 100%.
it's worse than crack. And
Oh, yeah.
here's why I say that. I had a guy who worked for me a number of years ago. He was an ex NFL player, and he said he goes, listen, and he was at the time he worked for me, he was in his later 60s.
Okay.
So, and he was probably 10, 12 years older than me. But he said, look, the reason I go to the gym every day, and we were at a NFL retirement party at Ditka's downtown. And he said, look, the reason I go to the gym like that every day and I work out every morning, and he goes, because you see those guys over there in the corner that can barely stand up. He goes, I don't want to be that guy. And he's right. You know, if you played enough sports, if you were active enough, if your body got beat up enough, you're going to be that guy or that woman sitting over there in the corner that can't get up, can't walk, can't straighten your back out. And so the gym junkie thing is for real. Got to do it.
No, it's great. It's awesome. I love it. And I'm not only do it for the health benefits, but it's the mental health benefits that really do help. Like my two of my roommates and I, my very close friends, every morning on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I didn't have to wake up. That was my sleep-in day. It wasn't theirs. I would wake up with them. We'd be like 9:30, let's go. And we'd go to the gym, and it just set our days up. And we just had more productive days. We'd work out in the morning together, and then having a group. Like we motivate each other. If I needed to do more reps or I need to be pushed, I'd say like, can you please yell at me? Like tell me to keep going. And one of my roommates would be like, come on, Natalie, like, you got this. And it's really sad. This morning we were all supposed to be working out, and I'm not in Champaign right now, but definitely missed that. But
so talk about that real quick though. I mentioned it early on, daily disciplines, right? I think we all need to have daily disciplines in your life. What are your top three?
For sure the gym, 100%. Aside from the gym, I have this goal on my Apple Watch that I walk 150 miles this month. So getting 5 miles of walking in, whether that means like every day. So going for a walk. Now that I'm home, it's a little challenging because I don't have a gym membership right now because I'm going to be living in the city this summer in a week. So I'm waiting this week, but just going for walks, going to the gym, and honestly checking in on my friends that I'm not near. That's important to me because everyone's going through their own thing. I mean, we're still post-pandemic, but it's still affecting a lot of people, and just making sure that the people I love, my friends and family, are doing well and know that I'm thinking of them and I care about them. I think that just getting a simple "how are you doing" text, good morning, what are you doing today, just is very important.
Yeah. All right. So here's a suggestion. Build your LinkedIn following right now. Start working on it now. Start connecting with people, because I know you want to go into that investment space in the multifamily or in the real estate business. Don't, whichever asset class that's going to be, but you need to start building your database. And this is something I wish that I would have been encouraged when I first went into real estate, was build a database, keep notes on people. So, take the farmer analogy, right? So plant the seed, water it, because the time's going to come that you're going to want to harvest that. So be connecting with people, 20 people a day, every day, and reach out, connect, see if they want to meet. I met a woman one time on LinkedIn. She put a post out there. I want to meet 3 people today. And what was amazing to me? She said that 2 people reached out to her, myself and somebody else, and we became really good friends as a result of it. So what I just say is build that database. You think that 1,300 is impressive. I'm just under 9,000 on LinkedIn, and that's in a year and a half. So, but that's every day. That's everyday consistency, building into it, and directing content in that to that. So that's cool. So who else do you know who who's just like you, who's looking for an internship this summer?
Well, I can tell you someone who's just like me is one of my friends. She is now, I made her the co-president because I didn't want to do this alone. Her name's
Oh,
Caroline Kelly. I highly recommend connecting with her and maybe putting her on your Thursday morning. We have literally the same brain. In my opinion, we both have an internship together this fall. We're like a package duo. They gave us 20 hours and we both split it and we do it together. So we're going to
okay.
learn together. We're both advertising majors. We both like same vibe, same everything. So she's really good. But I got her an internship with Rent Life. So she's not in an internship right now.
Absolutely connect us. So,
Oh, 100% after this call, I'm going to send an email.
okay. So why don't you tell people what Rent Life does and why you're there and any closing thoughts?
Yes. So Rent Life is a leasing company. They, the owners, Andy Ato and Melissa Miller. Andy Ato also owns City Pads, which is a development company. So Rent Life will come in sometimes for City Pads as buildings, but we'll come into different buildings and we'll lease them out. And it's great. For this summer, I'm designated at one building. I'm actually living in that building. And I'm in charge of giving tours and helping people find their 12-month home. And Rent Life is just a fantastic atmosphere, great bosses, great people. Nothing but the best to say. I'm very excited to go into the office after this. Very
Nice.
much so looking forward to it. And then closing thoughts. I personally think you're never too young to start. I'm 20 years old and I'm already I'd say very well connected. I have been having meetings on meetings with different people in the industry. I have one later today. And honestly, if you're in my position and you're in college, you don't really know what you want to do, but you want to do real estate, like Mike said, use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is super, super helpful. Go to your school has a real estate club, join it. Go to the meetings, like be well versed. Even if you don't know what they're talking about, you'll learn. I had
Yeah.
no idea what I was doing freshman year. I was horrified. I was like, I don't know what this means. Sophomore year, I came back and I was like, I'm going to learn everything. I brought a notebook. I took notes to every meeting. It's very important.
Yeah. Hey, so last couple comments I have, and that was really good stuff. You talked about walking. Are you going to be in the West Loop? Are you living in the West Loop or
I
you said
am. I am living in the West Loop this
okay.
summer.
All right. So here, if you go on Fulton Street, right, from like Elizabeth or Ada on the west end, almost Ogden, and you go all the way
Okay.
down to Halstead, every couple of blocks, there's benches. So when you talk about wanting to walk, that's a great neighborhood to walk in because I'll go there and I'll walk up and
Okay.
down those 4 blocks. And if you go down Fulton, you can do push-ups. So all body workout stuff. You can do push-ups and sit-ups, and there's curbs there, so you can do a little bit higher impact stuff, run in place, jump rope, take a jump rope with. And I'll go out in the morning and get a great workout, just a body workout. Keeps you out of the gym, doesn't smell as bad, and you get some fresh air. So,
Right.
anyhow,
Well,
yeah,
no, and
that's
what's really, oh, sorry,
no,
it's
go
cutting
ahead.
out.
You're
What I was
good.
gonna say was really cool. What's really cool is with TikTok, I found this. It's women who walk in Chicago, and TikTok's an amazing thing. I love TikTok. That's why they're
Yeah.
posting a lot. They're like you were talking about 3 to 5 times a day. And there's a group of women every Saturday that just walk. And it's a great way to meet people.
Mm.
So once I'm in the city, I'm going to take one of my friends because I have a few friends in the city this summer, and we're going to go and walk with them. And they walk a few miles, and it's just a great way to like network, meet new people, and get some good exercise in. I don't know who started that, but props to them. I love that.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, Natalie, tell people how they can find you, how they can connect with
Yes.
you.
You can connect with me on my LinkedIn. My name is Natalie Belloff, or my Instagram, it's natalie.belloff. Or I think, did you give out my email and phone number? I can still say it.
Yeah, your phone number is scrolling across the bottom, so you can get
Oh,
text there.
I see that now.
Yeah.
But you can email me too. It's belloffnatalie@gmail.com. And then my phone number is on the screen.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to move you backstage for a minute, say goodbye, and we hang out with me for a minute.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thanks. Hey, everybody, that was Natalie Belloff, and great show this morning. A lot of good content, a lot of good information. So if you're trying to learn a little something new about social media, how it plays into your real estate business, definitely go back and listen to this. Get some good information and knowledge, and understand. Here's what was really cool. Understand why somebody, what their thought process is about why they want to go into real estate, especially at 20. I wish I would have thought when I was that young to go right into real estate. You know, I actually did a post. We talked about TikTok, and I did a post on TikTok the other day. I said, you know, three things I wish I would have done sooner going into real estate. One was go right into multifamily, not even go into residential. Was to build a database, and Natalie and I talked about that a little bit, utilizing LinkedIn, and then get a coach sooner. And I think those are three things that are really important. So if you are thinking about any of those and I can answer any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Go ahead and email me at mike@mycoreintentions.com, or you can find me on social media. Look forward to connecting with you. We'll be here next Thursday. And I want to just thank everybody for being here this morning. Hope you enjoy your day.